Okay, so this is the review of the week of 5th of May. Uh, very boring week for me. As you can see, SPY was mainly chopping this week, nothing super exciting. Which is when I get the least opportunities, I just need some sort of movement somewhere. So it was definitely a tough week for me. Uh, I think I traded 2 days only. So I had AMD on, I think, yeah, it was the 6th, so Tuesday. Uh, it wasn't really an extraordinary opportunity. It just got a bit too extended into this level and started getting a little bit parabolic in the pre-market, which is where I like to just play a bit of a pop back to at least VWAP, but ideally to pre-market levels, which is what I was doing. As you can see, relative to SPY and also other Max 7 stocks, it was definitely more extended. So I liked that. I thought that it just got ahead of itself a bit and that it would give me a pop back. Fortunately, it didn't. It was only a half-hour trade because they don't really have anything else going for me other than the level, and this extension wasn't quite at my level yet. A bit above. Yeah, it was just a second rate up, and I'm beginning to think that I shouldn't take these at all while I'm unprofitable. Like, why would I trade a half-hour trade? Where would I take a half-hour trade? A half-hour risk trade if I can't even be profitable with my normal trades. Anyway, uh, AI, this was on Friday. It was also a second rate opportunity. Weekly, relatively bullish, but doesn't really matter that much for a scalp. Dailies, somewhat extended with 3 consecutive candle extension, but trying to get above this little pivot high, which is what I liked. Breaking out of a range, ABCDing. A 60-minute candle was a confirmation candle, so I liked that. 2388 was the high of this pivot, and 23721 or 66, I think. Yeah, 66 was where this candle rejected, so that was a bit better level for me, I think. I usually like these where I usually like levels where the actual sellers step in better. God, I can't talk. Anyway, set up an ABCD with a bit of an aggressive pullback. For these, I'd like to see at least a double bottom confirming that the level is holding, which I got. I entered around here, stopped around here. Unfortunately, I didn't get a screenshot at the time. This was a 1 hour trade, should not have been a trade at all. I need at least one clear thing on every trade, which I kind of forget about because I implemented a new framework and I left that out because I was focusing too heavily on other stuff. Didn't really have anything super clean. 15-minute was on its third consecutive candle. If it were to break out, 5-minute was relatively okay, but definitely not super clean. I like these two hammers, but yeah, this little peak and fail, albeit it was on high volume, it wasn't really that nice. I entered on SPY while it started gaining or reclaiming VWAP, which was nice, but then it kind of like ruined my plans, even though before that, during this dip, we weren't really following it on AI. I had INTC on Friday as well. Super nice wedge right at the bottom of this very large range, which I usually like wedges that are closer to key levels. They tend to break much better, have more momentum. We broke out yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't take a screenshot of the bottom volume bar. One sec. Yeah, so not a lot of volume on the breakout, which was a little bit concerning. I would have liked a bit more. Plus, we were somewhat going into this little peak outs high and the 50 MA. Not my favorite stuff in the world. Also, the 9th of April high. But we still had some room until there, and we had a fractal pattern wedge got broken out of, and now we're forming another wedge or an ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. I really like these fractals. I think they work super well. We got a fake break of the ascending triangle before the open. Another extra confirmation. I entered to our risk once we reclaimed and got around here. My entry was this right here. I got a very good entry. Stop loss was a bit lower, somewhere around here. I just didn't really like that it wasn't very tight and controlled movement, so didn't really want to set a tight stop. But yeah, I think 2 hours was reasonable on this trade. It was super nice. Uh, Aside from the volume aspect of it, I think when we opened we had like 70-80% arval, which wasn't super nice. I usually like much more on these breakouts. God, I'm really not feeling well. Can't talk cohesively. Anyway, SPY was. I thought that it was gonna be a bit more bullish today. We were opening somewhere around here. I thought that we would gain 567.42 and then just slowly grind up until 570, but we couldn't really do that. At the open we just came back to VWAP, so was also good for a bit of a pop, which we got, but INTC just didn't follow through. PLTR, complete shit trade, not even worth mentioning, to be honest. I just had a daily idea of a gap fill, even though it was a bit extended. 60-minute, 5-minute didn't really have any good patterns. It just got a bit tight, and I played a mini break out of that. But yeah, I played it for a half hour, but shouldn't even have taken it for that. So those were the week's trades. As I said, not many that were really great. AMD not really worth talking about. Just flag the PLTR also, Pony also. MO maybe just worth a few notes. So been in an uptrend. I would have liked a bit more cleaner, a bit cleaner movement on the daily. 60s ABCDs also quite nice. I also like the 5-minute and the 15, which was just a double bear sandwich. Broke out of this initial range on the day, 1-minute range, set a double bottom on top of it, and then after that we broke out. Could have taken an entry somewhere around here, or maybe even here. Would have been a bit too aggressive, I think, on the first one, so second one would have been a lot more safe, also because we were on top of this daily level by then, so that was neat in my opinion. Could have held it to like 60-50 or something. VST not really worth talking about, just flagged it. ASTS, same thing. VPA was very off on this. Plus I think it was a bit extended on the 15 if I remember correctly, yes. Disney also not worth noting. AI also not worth noting. Hood also not worth noting, just flagged it. PLTR, yeah, this is the day before I traded it. Got a nice tight 60-minute range, but they didn't really offer me anything that made sense and was clear, so I didn't enter anywhere at all, but this is the one that broke out. And Mara is the only thing that I think is worth talking about. So weekly I'm long biased on it, holding the bottom of this range and somewhat this probably high volume area quite nicely. Reclaimed it, set a hammer after this confirmation candle. Dailies, a reverse head and shoulders, very beautiful. And now we're getting tight in a bigger range and in the dead middle of a range, which was also like an initiation sell-off here and here. So I really like when, as I said, wedges align with key levels. And this is what happened. Got super tight in the pre-market. This is my launchpad setup. Exactly. Fake broke, reclaimed, easy 2, maybe even 4-hour entry. And I could have gotten it to 15 at least, and whenever these are like really good, I usually let them run. Could have taken partials around here at this nice daily level. Maybe could have waited for this too, or just a 5-minute pattern against me, which would have been around 15:30 ish. So yeah, not many great ups, but that's what we're working with.